In 2018, I found a book, and in this book was a clipping of a newspaper. It was an article about an investigation by a man whose last name was Shafir. And the picture in the article was of him and Simon Wiesenthal. It was discussing his pursuit of a Nazi war criminal and talking about it. There was the identification of someone identified as Falcon. I kept this clipping through with me while I was on the streets through multiple places. And when I was finally allowed to be indoors and hopefully making an adjustment to doing other things, along with other things that I acquired at that time, other books that I was able to purchase allegedly because I had done something that provided me with cash, legal, licit, non sexual, by the way. I got a frame, and it was painted gold, and it had pictures of wheat sheaths in each of the corners. And I took that picture, that newspaper clipping, and I put it in that frame. It was part of what I had thought perhaps I was connected to in some sort of way. I took a picture of it with my cell phone. Sometime later, I was thrown out of that place, tried to file a police report. You know how that goes. This was in 2018. But apparently, also, in March of 2018, is a review for a book called The Splintered Empires, The Eastern Front, 1917 to 1921. It's written by a Preet Buttar. Buttar. I'm sure it's a fine piece of historical documentation. The review is written by Mr. Oppenheim, but it follows a review in the same publication written by a Harris, literally, David Harris, for a book by a Cathal Nolan. And in between that, this book is written by O. Williams, A Passing Fury, Searching for Justice at the End of World War II. If this was published in March of 2018, chances are they had already put out and were expecting receipt of articles, including book reviews, if they didn't already have them available in February of 2018. Somebody actually sent a package to the Department of Justice describing a pattern of racketeering activity that involved trafficking people through the Health and Human Services system that was also connected to using people without their informed consent in processes of human test subject experimentation for, among other things, weapons companies, and among other things, as derivatives for uranium. What happened to that? I know what happened to that. Somebody used it as political risk insurance instead of allowing for it to be used as evidence or as a call for a prosecution of the crimes that it documented, and tried to float it as some sort of leverage to deal with a bankruptcy connected to an insurance company for municipal bonds that allowed two other defaults to take precedence over an effort to prevent a nuclear default, which has been allowed to accrue until this time, and as far as I understand, is connected to $39,000 per person killed on a ventilator billed to Medicare. It was bad enough when you told me Dr. Kapoor wasn't going to take my grievance. What did you do with Dr. Buttar? Both of them were reported to the Texas Medical Board. Both of them were reported during a time when the Texas Medical Board was up for review by the Sunset Commission in the state of Texas. I just want you to know I also bought this jacket for $1. It was made in Poland.